Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome to the Grimdark Diaries.
We're your geek gal pals obsessed with true crime and all things dark and disturbing. Hello, everyone. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. Nikki, I got something in the mail today, and I'm very excited about it.
Is it a chocolate mold of somebody's asshole?
Damn it, I thought you'd forget all about that. No, and I did not get one for my birthday, by the way. I'm just saying.
You sound upset about that,
I mean,
which is very worrisome.
Well, you know, I thought that I might get one for my birthday. A girl I work with told me I might get one from her, and I never did.
Man, that'd be weird, because then you'd go to work knowing exactly what her specific beehole looks like.
So true. I was like, please don't send me that. Although it is something that I feel like she would do. She's wonderful, though. I'm glad I did not get that from her for my birthday this year. No, I got a piece of my costume in the mail today.
For Halloween?
Yes, which I'm very excited about. It's the wig.
Ooh.
The wig. I know, I can't wait. I'm going to style it. I'm probably going to style it this weekend. That's
very exciting. Do you have your whole costume now?
Not my whole costume. I'm still missing a couple of pieces, so I gotta do last minute shopping, of course, this weekend or this week. My mom's coming down this weekend, so I don't know if I'll have time to do it this weekend, but
Plus we have a live show.
Yes, in 2 days, I guess, from when this episode comes out. No, this comes.
The live show will already happen.
The live show already happened, so
it went great.
It went.
We didn't blow it.
That's right. We're putting that out there in the universe right now. It was amazing.
I'm going to do some kind of a spell probably tomorrow to really make sure that it goes well.
It's not 2 days from when this episode comes out. It's actually 2 days from today. Shit. No, I'm kidding. We're very prepared. I'm very excited. It's going to be awesome.
You say that and you have no idea what my notes look like.
I can only imagine that you're going to put the pressure on me, and I have to be the one to decide all of the things. And I'm just kidding. No, it's going to be awesome. I have no doubt it's going to be awesome because we're awesome.
That's the confidence we need to go into this year.
Yes, exactly. I absolutely believe that we're going to do awesome. So, yes, I have most of the pieces of my costume, and I am very excited to showcase it. So we're going to do a post on Halloween, aren't we? So we'll show pictures of...
Yes, absolutely we will.
I don't know if it's the day of or the day after that you'll see the pictures, but...
I'll post on the day of. Well, it would have to be the night of, because I'm not going to... No, wait, now. No, it would be on Halloween, because I'm going to see you on the 30th.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it will be the day after that we see each other, but the day of Halloween.
Yes.
So you will see the photos of our costumes.
I will post both of our Halloween costumes.
I'm so excited.
They will be very different.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Because I didn't tell anybody. I told a few people what mine are, but mum's the word.
Yeah, exactly. And we all know what mine is because, you listen to all of the episodes, correct? And that means that you've heard what I said I was going to be for Halloween.
I'm so excited. I like that a joke went this far.
I know. It actually went a lot further than I was expecting it, but I feel like I owe it to our grimdark friends, our friends in the dark, and actually come through with my promise of what I'm going to be. So here we are.
I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not going as the crypt keeper. I know I said to dress as the thing. If you can't be with them, be them. But I don't have time to do that this year. Maybe another year.
That would be an extensive project.
That would be a very large and very complicated cosplay.
Absolutely.
And I just don't have the time because we have a live show and I'm a guest at HalCon. So I don't have time to do much of anything.
Nikki is going to be very popular this weekend.
Yeah, this comes out after. I was going to say, come to my table and buy some of my prints, and this will be in the future.
That's right. I hope you all got to see Nikki at HalCon, and you got to go see her table and got pictures with her and took prints. Not took them, but paid for the prints.
Don't steal from me. It's by donation.
That's right.
I'm just a lowly cosplayer.
But
trying to just make the money
one.
I paid for the prints.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You don't want her to leave in a deficit, do you?
No, please.
That's right. Well, I guess we're going to segue right into our story. Actually, I have decided that instead of one long drawn out story, I'm going to do 3 very, very interesting urban legends that are actually based on true stories for this episode. Yes.
Could they possibly also be true?
Well, yes, they actually could be. We're going to go through them and then you let me know what you think. Yes. Well, one of them you may not be so keen on it being true.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay, well, I'll let you know. It's the first one.
No, you shouldn't have told me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would have just been wild and been like, yep, that one's true.
No, I think you would know anyway if you heard it. Okay, well, with that, we're going to just dive right in. Okay, so urban legends. They're pretty big things in most countries. Most countries have their own urban legends, and we all know that they're all very different on very many different levels. The one that I'll be speaking about today, though, it's going to take us to Northern Virginia in the U.S. I have a lot of friends in Virginia, so hello, friends. I thought this would be a good one for you guys down there. The story's been an urban legend for about 4, almost 5 decades. But there is a bit of truth to this one, so it's pretty interesting. The name doesn't exactly scream terror, but
Is it the Mothman?
No. No. Is that in Virginia? Because I feel like it is.
I thought it was, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Am I in love with the Mothman? Maybe.
Are you?
Is the Mothman the fuckboy of cryptids? Maybe.
Oh my god. Please somebody get that on a bumper sticker and quote Nikki, will you? No, it is not the Mothman, but it is the Bunny Man.
What?
The Bunny Man.
What?
The Bunny Man was more terrifying than you can imagine.
Should you have saved this story for Easter month?
It sounds like it, but no, this one's actually going to be a good Halloween story. So since the early 70s, tales have been told about this fearful legend. Of course, stories change over time as they get elaborated and evolved, but the fact remains the same. This is based on a true story. First, though, I will tell you the urban legend tale of the Bunny Man.
That is not striking fear in anybody's heart.
I don't know why. So it goes back to the early 20th century. So like early 1900s. The exact dates are unclear, and it was obviously in Northern Virginia, between the town of Clifton and Fairfax Station. There is, or was, an insane asylum located deeply in the woods. The asylum closed, so patients got on the bus and headed for Lorton Prison. Of course, the bus crashes, because that is how all legends get born. And the asylum patients, aka the prisoners, all escape.
Is this from that Trick or Treat movie?
The what?
Trick or Treat movie?
Oh, Trick or Treat. You said Trick or Treat. I'm like, art?
Trick or Treat.
I don't know what that movie is. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Are you kidding me right meow?
I would never do that. No,
okay.
I've never seen it.
Immediate grimdark homework.
Oh.
That is like the quintessential Halloween horror movie.
Quintessential? I beg to differ.
Oh, Megan.
Okay, maybe I have to watch it first.
Fisticuffs over this one. I feel like you would know the mascot for it is a little child-sized dude in like an orange jumper, and he has kind of like a burlap head, and he's holding a big pumpkin sucker with a bite out of it. His name is Sam.
Oh, Oh, I think I've seen
He
images
has like a
of
very
him
round,
before.
burlappy head.
Yes. I think I have.
You need, before the next episode of
Okay.
Grimdark,
Okay.
you have to watch. It is the best Halloween horror movie, in my opinion.
I will check it out. Is that on Disney Plus? It must be.
I don't know about that.
I'll have to check it out.
You might need to put on your eye patch and your hook hand to find it.
I might not get that reference, but it's quite the image.
You don't get that reference? Who wears an eye patch and a hook hand?
Captain Hook?
And what is he?
A pirate. Oh. Oh my God. All right. Well, we all know, we've discussed this before, that I do not do that. But thank you for the image. Wow, I am very slow. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, cool. So the patients escape from the bus crash, and the police ended up going after them. So the police ended up catching all of them but one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. The one escapee's name was Douglas Griffin, and the police searched the area over and over and over again. And all they kept finding were half-eaten, gutted bunnies around the yard that he escaped in. And they also found them hanging from the Fairfax Station Bridge.
Ew.
Which is really disgusting. They searched for months, and they never, ever found him. Even to this day, he's never been found. And Halloween night, teens hung out under the bridge doing the things that teenagers do on Halloween night. And at midnight, they were attacked. In the morning, they were also found hanging from the bridge, gutted. It is said to this day that if you are at Bunnyman Bridge on All Hallows Eve at midnight, you will meet the same fate. It's a very fun story. That is their urban legend, and I'm pretty sure it continues to elaborate and grow every time it's told, but I really enjoy that urban legend. But there have been proven to be historical inaccuracies with the legend, of course.
So you're just going to poo-poo on it right now? You can't even let us think maybe it's real?
Oh, but the story is very interesting. This is all about the true side of things, Nikki.
No, I'm more on the crime side.
Yeah.
You can be on the true side.
Well, there is crime in this story, so I will give you crime. No worries. The prison wasn't open until 1916, which is a little bit later. When they were talking early 1900s, they meant 1904 or maybe 1905. And 1916 is when the prison actually opened. Also, there were no records of a Douglas Griffin at Fairfax, so the name doesn't match any of the records that they have. So here's the actual version of events, which might be even more bizarre than the legend. This report is from Washington Post, so it has to be legit, right? Of course. It was October 18th, 1970, and it was around midnight when an Air Force Academy cadet whose name was Robert Bennett and his fiancée, she was not given a name in the article, so I am not sure what her name was. They alleged that as soon as they were in their vehicle around the 5400 block of Guinea Road in Fairfax, when, quote, a man dressed in a white suit with long bunny ears appeared, end quote. That's not really that strange. It's a little strange, but it wasn't really something that really caught my eye until they were taken aback when the bunny started yelling at them and saying they were on private property and that he had their tag number. I'm guessing what tag number is, the license plate number, perhaps. I've never heard it used as tag number, but here we are. That's when they noticed what was in his hand. A hatchet. There's this man walking around in a white suit with bunny ears holding a hatchet. I'm sorry. Even in real life, that's a little freaky.
I feel like as a cosplayer, I wouldn't be concerned unless he got aggressive.
This was in the 1970s, though, so I don't know. I feel like
Very
cosplayers
early
were
cosplay.
not really that popular back then. And it was October 18th, so it wasn't even Halloween yet.
Maybe he was going for like, when was Bugs Bunny invented? Maybe he was pre-Bugs Bunny cosplay.
What do you mean invented? Bugs Bunny is real.
What?
He lives in all of us, Nikki.
You know what? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Maybe he was doing a Bugs Bunny cosplay and he had the axe because he was looking for his Elmer Fudd to
nice.
do a cosplay photo shoot with. Do you think?
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I can't explain the next thing that happens, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Okay. So the next thing that they knew, he was throwing the hatchet at their car and it went through their front windshield. Luckily, it missed them both and no one was hurt and they hightailed it out of there.
My question. Were they on private property? Were they in fact trespassing?
I don't know. It says that they were around the 5400 block of that street, so I assumed that they were on the street itself, but maybe they were parked in a driveway. It was said that they were very close to the gentleman's uncle's house, so I don't know if they were parked in a driveway just down the road that was empty or something like that, or if they were parked on the street. I'm not sure, but this guy was not happy. I mean, does that really give him an excuse to throw a hatchet in their front windshield?
I mean, that's an aggressive escalation, but if he warned them and they did not move, I just really want to believe in the bunny man. Okay?
I know, I noticed.
Keep going.
Okay. That's hilarious. 2 weeks later, he was seen again by a security guard named Paul Phillips. He was seen at a new house that was still unoccupied on their porch holding an axe. Paul went up to him and said, I started talking to him, and that's when he started chopping. The bunny man said, all you people trespass around here. If you don't get out of here, I'm going to bust you on the head. All while chopping the pole on the porch and threatening Paul. This guy was aggressive. Police reports and investigation notes all state that the police in Fairfax County did search for either a teenage boy or a young adolescent man that was dressed as a bunny. They said he was like either late teens or early 20s. This is for real. This was actually in their report. Their searches came up empty and they had absolutely nothing to show for it. They wrote in their report, quote, after a very extensive investigation into this and all other cases of this same nature, it is still unsubstantiated as to whether or not there really is a white rabbit, end quote. The case was then deemed inactive.
Is this just the Matrix?
Are
we following the white rabbit?
Oh, that's really good. But instead of inviting them into the Matrix, they're actually trying to keep them away from it. Maybe they
don't
follow the white rabbit.
Yes, maybe they chose the wrong pill and the white rabbit was like, ooh, no.
This is what happens when you take the other pill. Oh, yes. Instead of having the
you
white
get a
rabbit.
hatchet to the face. That's the part of the movie we don't see because we always see Neo
Interesting.
take the correct pill.
Maybe that'll be the next movie.
Hey, the new one's coming out.
That's right. Maybe we're going to see what happens when you take the other pill.
And right now my husband just looks like that Keanu Reeves.
Oh.
Have you not seen his hair lately?
Well, I guess I kind of see him in stories sometimes, but I don't think I really like see it in its natural state.
He's got some long hair going.
Yes. That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Keanu Reeves is like extremely attractive. So Brian Conley, who is an archivist, who is an archivist in Fairfax County, dug up all the information on this case as he wanted to get to the bottom of where this urban legend really came from. 45 years after the incident with the hatchet through their windshield, Brian went to the couple who were still married and verified that the story was true, sharing very clear details of the event. They didn't really feel comfortable talking about it. It wasn't really something that they wanted to remember because I guess it was a very traumatic experience, which I can completely understand. But they did remember all the very, very clear details that were in the urban legend talked about. And they were a part of that. And that actually did happen. So after the incident, the couple had gone to Brian's uncle's house, who was just up the road. The aunt also verified their story, saying that she remembered pulling glass from the windshield out of the girl's hair. Even today, no one has any idea about who this bunny man was or what he was all about. There are a ton of theories out there, like a man who had died a couple of years earlier who owned the property that he was seen on. It might not be his ghost. Maybe it is. Who knows? But maybe it's also a relative who's taking up the cause, who really doesn't want people to, squatter in his house or...
Yeah, no trespassing.
Yeah. And what way to actually scare people away? Well, I feel like you might be able to do that by dressing as a bunny and throwing hatchets at people's cars.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way to do it. Although it doesn't explain why nobody could ever find him, which is very concerning.
Well, I'm sure if he took the costume off, he'd then be hard to find.
Well, I suppose. I guess he could just have been acting crazy with the suit on and then was a totally normal man when he took it off. Who knows? It could also have been someone who protested the development in the area. Apparently that area was in full development, so trees were chopping down and all that stuff. So somebody thought that maybe it could have been somebody protesting the development in the area and just doing it in a very not clear way. I didn't really get the idea.
Not a great way to protest. When
no.
You
don't really
vocalize what you're protesting.
Unclear about what you're actually asking us here. Do you just not want us near this house, or do you want us to not chop the trees down? If the bunny man was 20-ish in 1970, he may actually still be alive and around his 70s if he made it this far, that is. There may be no murder and no asylum and no bridge in the real story that we know of. But a hatchet-throwing bunny man is a little creepy for my liking. Fairfax Station Bridge may have been incorporated later through storytelling. Google Maps actually calls this Fairfax Station Bridge Bunny Man Bridge.
Really?
Yep. It's super creepy and also very dangerous looking. So we'll get some pictures of that up on the Instagram as well.
Kids go there every Halloween.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Every Halloween. The town of Clifton is even in on the spookiness. They sell t-shirts and they actually have a haunted Halloween attraction all about it. All about the Bunny Man.
Oh my God. Somebody from Clifton send me a Bunny Man shirt.
Yes.
Please send me a Bunny Man shirt.
I know. I'm hoping that my friends from Virginia will now go to Clifton and tell us all about this Bunny Man Bridge and all the stories that the locals are telling.
All I want is a Bunny Man shirt.
If you're near there, you should go and let us know all about it. So that's the story of the Bunny Man. Very exciting. So the next story is going to be about Okiku, the Japanese haunted and scariest doll.
Ooh.
This is a true story. So this is just straight up true.
You said these were urban legends, you fibber.
This is a legend, but it also is true. So
I don't think urban legends are true.
Okay, it was in the list of urban legends, all right? So Okiku is known as the haunted doll of Hokkaido. Hokkaido? The origin story is Aikichi Suzuki, who is a 17-year-old boy who is visiting Sapporo, Hokkaido, and he was there actually visiting a marine exhibit, and he saw a porcelain Japanese doll in a shop window, and he just had to buy it for his 2-year-old sister, whose name was Kikuko, in 1918. So it was a while ago. When he gave it to her, she hugged it immediately, and it was no doubt her favorite toy. as soon as she got it. She took it everywhere. And she even slept with it at nighttime. The doll was 40 centimeters tall and dressed in traditional kimono. Do you know what a kimono is?
I do.
They're very pretty. I absolutely love
so.
those. Yes. The doll had black hair cut into a bob cut, about shoulder length and traditional style, with bangs over her forehead. She had black piercing eyes, and they were sunken into her lifelike skin. Sadly, Kikuko would die a year later in 1919 when she was only 3 years old after contracting yellow fever while still holding the doll in her arms. The family wanted to bury the doll with her, but circumstances wouldn't allow it. So they ended up keeping the doll, and they placed it in the family's altar as a shrine for remembrance of their daughter. They ended up naming the doll Okiku after their daughter. Not long after, they noticed something super odd. The doll's okappa hairstyle was now getting longer. It was getting uneven ends and was a bit of a mess. It felt different and even looked different than it did when it was their daughter's favorite doll. They also would dream of the doll. They claimed it would appear beside them in the morning before they were fully awake.
Were they dreaming? Or were they just waking up in the middle of the night and seeing it and then remembering it?
They could have been. The haunting became a bit more physical in their home. The lights would flicker. There would be banging sounds coming from other rooms in the home. And so many noises and faint whispers could be heard as well. Immediately, they knew this doll was haunted by the spirit of their daughter. In 1938, the family would have to move away, but they didn't want to take the doll with them, so they asked the monks at the Menenji temple to take care of it.
If it's the spirit of their daughter, why wouldn't they want to take the doll?
So one of the articles that I read said that the closer the doll was to her buried body, the more lively and active she could be, and they didn't want to take that away from her, so they assumed the doll was haunted by their daughter. So they wanted to keep her spirit alive by keeping her close to where her body was buried.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yes, so they would come to visit her quite often, but unfortunately they didn't want to take it with them. So the monks took care of the doll, and they have since confirmed that the hair does indeed grow. Okiku's hair is now roughly 25 centimeters or 10 inches long, all the way down to her knees. The hair would be longer, but one of the monks claimed to have had a dream where Okiko told him to trim her hair. The monks even sent off samples of her hair to scientists to examine it, and it was discovered to be real human child hair that grows.
No way.
I can't find any evidence of this. I tried searching, but I couldn't find anything, just an article that said it, so I don't know, but that is wild. According to Old City Ghost website, quote, as the years passed on, the doll's fame grew and her powers further developed. She's bolder now, invading the dreams of the priest and those who come to visit her. She's stronger, and her hair grows faster and wilder. And she's even spookier. There is now a claim that the mouth of Okiku is slowly opening, and that if you dare to peer inside, you may be able to glimpse something like baby teeth sprouting like weeds from the porcelain gums.
Oh my heart. That is horrifying.
No one knows why the hair still grows to this day. So if you ever find yourself on Japan's Hokkaido Island in the town of Owamazawa, apologies if I said that wrong, and want to get stared at by a haunted doll with beady black eyes, head on over to the Menenji Temple and meet Okiku, the most famous haunted doll of Hokkaido. What the I'm sorry.
That's pretty wild.
Isn't that wild?
I would like to please witness a live stream so I can watch her hair grow.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, we're in the age of technology. I don't know if the monks would allow technology like that in their temple, but that would be super interesting if they put it somewhere and just left a camera on it so we could all watch the hair grow. It's not a Chia doll. It's literally human hair growing out of this doll's head.
Chia. Ha ha ha, haunted.
Oh, God. Ha ha ha. It's not funny. It's just terrifying. All right, last story. Y'all ready for this? Hey, Nikki, how you feeling over there?
You know what? I just started a long weekend. I'm feeling great.
That's great. Okay. This story is about Poveglia Island in Italy. This one had me wild, and that's why I saved this one for last. Poveglia Island is where those who contracted the Black Plague thousands of years ago were sent to live and die in isolation. Too many died, and their bodies started to crowd the island. There were large mass graves that were dug, and then thousands of people would be buried at a time. Once there wasn't enough room to bury any more bodies because there were too many, they were then burned. Some only showed slight signs of illness, not even the plague. They might not have even been sick with the Black Plague, but they were shipped off anyway, and they were dumped onto the piles of dead bodies on this island. I can't even imagine what that would look like or how that would smell even.
Nope.
To just picture how that was. That was a real thing that happened, that Black Plague. Oh my gosh, I just can't fathom what that must have been like.
No, I love hearing, not love. I find it very fascinating to hear about that time. And especially in Scotland, they had Mary King's Cross, which was basically a city underground. Well, it was a normal city, and then they just kind of built over it. And they just left people down there that had the Black Plague to just die. Yeah,
really?
And you can go down there and tour it. Yeah, it's very haunted.
I didn't know that.
Oh, someday I would like to do a story on it. I know some very famous podcasts have done a story on it. So then it's on my, I don't know if I'll do it.
Right.
Because one, Morbid has done it, which is a very popular podcast that I feel like anyone that listens to true crime podcasts listens to Morbid.
I love Morbid.
Yes, I do too. Oh, I love Morbid. But because they did it, it makes me hesitate to do it. But that's where I learned about it, was on their podcast. And then I did a bunch of research on it. And I'm super fascinated, and I want to go there.
I'll have to look that up because that is super interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting. So every city or every country had their own way of disposing of the bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Black Plague plagued all of Europe, right? Was it more than Europe, or I don't actually know anything about it, to be honest.
I don't know.
I didn't think to look into it.
I only looked up what happened in Scotland because that's where my heart is.
Yeah, that's fair. We all know that. So this one is in Italy, which I also find very interesting. Poveglia today has thriving grape vineyards. Grapes apparently do very well in ashy soil because more than 50% of the island's soil is human ash, which is absolutely disgusting to think about.
Do they make wine from that? Is that where this is going?
I'm not gonna confirm or deny that. I actually don't know, but I do know that they would go over there to harvest the grapes.
Okay, then they were definitely making wine.
They're probably doing stuff with the grapes. Yes.
Dead person fertilizer wine.
Why do you
think
think Italian wine is the best wine out there?
They make good wine, but I don't want wine from person fertilizer.
I would be interested to do some research about that to see.
I thought you were going to say a taste test.
Nope, absolutely not. I would want to do the research first so I knew which wines to avoid. But I would look up the reviews, see what people thought about those wines. Check that out. We'll keep you posted. In 1922, an asylum was opened on the island. Because of the isolation and privacy, of course, the scientists and the doctors did whatever the frick they wanted to their patients. Reports of abuse and experiments of the heinous kind were sent back to the mainland, and this just furthered the torture the soul of the island had to endure. One doctor in particular... I was about to start a rap and you just ruined it. I was beatboxing, don't you know?
Lord.
One doctor in particular.
You were calling me on my one vodka soda.
I know. Well, I've literally only had one because this one is still full. One doctor in particular believed lobotomies treated and cured mental illness, so did so against patients' will. He did this in the most unorthodox way, as I'm sure most doctors did back in the 20s, with hammers and drills and chisels.
Up the nose?
Yep, no anesthesia and no care for any cleanliness. Sanitizing was not a thing apparently back then.
No, they didn't know about germs.
No, that's true. It's unclear what dark experiments he conducted in the hospital's bell tower, but it is said that the screams from those patients could be heard all over the island. Eventually, this doctor began to succumb to his own mental disorder when he saw many of the island's ghosts. Eventually, he could take it no longer when he lost what he had left of his mind and jumped from the bell tower to his death. Or did he? Some people say that he may have actually been pushed by an unseen force. To this day, those who have been to this island say that the doctor's spirit is still living on within the bell tower, and on a quiet night, if you listen closely, you can hear him ring the tower bell. That would be terrifying.
So the asylum is still on that island?
The building is there, but the hospital was closed in 1968. It still stayed open until 1968, which I find crazy because 1922 is when it opened. It's a long time to be conducting those kind of experiments on people.
I feel like they probably slowed their roll a little on the experiments, maybe, though.
Hopefully. And actually took care of the people. Hundreds of thousands of people died on this island. So one can only imagine the tortured souls that would be left behind. Some say that you can still hear the screams of those that died their horrible deaths there. No visitors are allowed on this island. Doesn't mean no one has gone over there, though. Fear seekers are always about looking for the next thrill. Any who have gone there always return with a horror in their eyes and shaken to the core. All say they feel like they're being watched. Some even feel scratches or being pushed by unseen forces. And some even chase people down in the corridors. There have been many reports of paranormal experiences inside the abandoned hospital buildings as well as around the grounds. Either tortured souls from the asylum or those who died the horrible deaths from the Black Plague. Either way, visitors to the island have seen shadows moving in the halls while they explore. Oh God, that just creeps me out thinking about it. No, thank you. And you're on an island, so like you're stuck there.
Yeah, but you would choose to go there, so that'd be your own dang fault.
Yeah, but if you're going there because you don't really believe the stories or you just want to see something small,
then that's your own fault.
True. But when you get there, it's like kind of another world and you're actually in it and you feel the fear. You know what I mean? Oh, anyway. Creeps me out. I would never go. It's illegal anyway, so. One such case, when an illegal visitor with friends went exploring in the asylum, they got an immediate feeling of dread, and then they heard a deep voice say, quote, "Leave immediately and do not return," end quote. They complied. Human bones can still be found washed up on the shorelines of Poveglia Island, which should be no surprise with the amount of people who have died there. Fishermen don't even go anywhere near those shores because they are actually terrified of fishing out human bones in their nets instead of fish. It's so gross.
Yeah, that'd be not a good catch.
No. Once the hospital closed in 1968, the island was sold to a private owner. He sold almost immediately afterwards to another private owner. Both would not keep it for long, as they couldn't spend any time there. The air is heavy and there's an ominous feeling in the air. So many unexplained sounds. The tower bell, the screaming, the whispering. It's just too much. One owner of the island built a private holiday home there. His family was so excited to be there. They immediately got on their boat. They went over. They got settled in for the day. And they even had an enjoyable first day. But by the nightfall, it would end up being filled with horror. The family fled within hours after their daughter had her face ripped off by an unseen force.
What?
Yes.
Could you please describe how her face was ripped off?
They didn't go into more detail, Nikki. It was just ripped off.
What does that mean?
Well, the way they described it was that it sounded like one of the tortured spirits may have just clawed at her face and ripped it off.
Like pulled her skin off?
Yes, her skin was off her face.
I'm having a hard time with that one.
I'd have to do some more fact checking on that one, but
did they collect her face skin to bring home?
I doubt it. They fled immediately and they never returned.
Man, I would grab my face skin. I don't want someone else's face skin on my face.
I don't know the validity of that story, but it's part of the urban legend, Nikki.
I'm sorry.
Could be part of the true story. We don't know.
I just do well with visualization, so
yes.
I needed to know how.
Okay, so imagine that a tortured spirit comes up to her and hates her, just the way she looks. Like, especially her face.
Oh my god, that's so mean.
It's a tortured spirit. What do you think? They're there and they're angry and they don't like having their lands trampled on by people that are alive and might be prettier than they are. So they got excited or angry, I mean, and they ripped her face off.
So this is just Halloween Mean Girls?
Halloween Mean Girls. It's October 3rd.
You're like really pretty.
We only wear pink on Wednesdays. Okay, I could quote that movie literally all night. Okay, so that family obviously never returned to the island. So the island is now abandoned. It is illegal to visit there. You're not allowed to go. So don't go. Grimdark says, don't go. It is on the list of world's most illegal places to visit, which I did not actually know was a list until I saw this article. But apparently there is a list of world's most illegal places to visit. Don't go to any of them. They're illegal to go to. I'm trying really hard to force that upon you.
When you say that, it just makes it more attractive for people.
I know. It's
you gotta do the opposite and encourage them to go.
I mean, but then I don't want to be the person who encouraged people to go to illegal places.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I know, it's true. Just, be safe out there. That's what we want for you guys.
Just tell everyone they got the face ripped off.
That's true. That's true. You can't go. It is illegal to go. However, if you do go, you might have your face ripped off. So
yeah. Price of entry, one face.
That's right. Oh God, I shouldn't laugh because that would be horrible, but also it's kind of ridiculous at the same time.
It's like world's worst carnival ride.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Or you
Step on up.
Leave with someone else's face.
Yeah.
Okay, so this island is now for sale. Actually, this article was from 2018, but the prices were from 2014, and there was absolutely nothing newer than that, so I really don't know. But at the prices back then, which we all know have probably skyrocketed by double at this point, is 513,000 euros for a 50-year concession for the 7,300 square meters, which is about 1.8 acres.
Oh, that's a pretty small island. I was picturing much bigger.
Yeah, it's pretty small. And honestly, I feel like that's not a whole lot of money for an island. 513,000 euros?
No, not in euros. It's not that bad. For your own private island, that's pretty ballin'.
Very true. But no one wants it. Do you?
Not if my face is going to get ripped off.
I'm so intrigued. There were so many reports of people going there and that not even being able to stay for like a day without leaving immediately because of the feeling in that area is just so dreadful. Like you feel like it's your last day on Earth, and it might be, I guess, if you stay longer. I can't imagine. That place just sounds so horrific.
No, I would not like to put myself in a situation with that kind of bad energy.
No, me either.
That's not my cup of vodka.
No, me either. It looks beautiful though. Honestly, the pictures don't look that bad. I was looking at some of the pictures.
Well, they wouldn't.
Well,
it's just an island.
I'm sorry, I was picturing human bones and ashes and bodies is what I was picturing. I know that was like thousands and thousands of years ago, so those are all gone now, but the bones still wash up on the shores. Like, ugh. I don't know. I just can't. Oh, I can't imagine it. It was such a great Halloween story to read.
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it is. It's creepy that it's an actual island out there right now that is in existence. I'm sorry, Italy. We love you. And that is the final story. This is our final. Actually, it's not our final because Nikki's already said she's going to keep going with the spooky theme. But this is our final episode right before Halloween. So,
yes, but it wasn't fair because I only got one spooky story.
Listen,
in October.
Don't knock Julie for being a guest, okay?
No, I loved having Julie.
We loved Julie.
We're going to have Julie back.
Yes, we absolutely will.
But I want to do another spooky story. And I got a really good idea for one, but I don't know if it's a thing. So I need to Google it.
What? If it's a thing?
I was watching something. I was watching a horror movie and then they said a thing. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that actually happens or if they just said that because it's a movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Like it was like because it was like a horror movie pretending to be a real thing.
Right.
Like it was one of those movies that's supposed to be filmed like a documentary and it's like, oh, found footage.
Blair Witch
Project. So I'm
Project.
like, oh, is this like based on what?
Was it the Blair Witch Project?
No, but I saw the Blair Witch Project in theaters when it originally came out. And I'll tell you what, I was scared half to death.
Yes. I think we talked about this because I said that my brother had sent the movie to me. Because I lived in a very tiny town and we didn't get movies until like 6 months after they came out in theaters. And he had sent it to me directly from Alberta on my computer. And I didn't know that it didn't have credits.
Oh.
And so when I watched it, I was like, well, you were young too if you saw it in theaters.
Was very young.
You would have been super young because I was I
probably shouldn't have been there.
No, I was going to say you probably were too young for the rating even.
Yep. My mom's pretty cool. She'll let me go.
I'm not surprised. Your mom is awesome. Yeah. So I was honestly floored when it ended and there was no credits, and I messaged my brother and I was like, excuse me, did you cut the credits out? And he's like, no, it has no credits, this is a real documentary, Megan. And I was like,
I definitely thought it was real.
I definitely did too, until I found out way later that it was a movie, because again, small town, we didn't get movies for like 6 months later into the theaters. Because I didn't even know it was a movie in the theaters. He just sent me this raw footage.
Okay, that's even creepier.
Yeah, it was a little terrifying, not gonna lie. Anyway, so it was not Blair Witch Project that you were watching, okay?
No, it wasn't. It was another movie. I'm not gonna say what it is because it'll ruin the thing I want to Google. And you know what? And I might not be able to actually find that thing, and then it'll just be like a letdown. So just forget I said anything.
It's fine. It's all good. And you can just let us know next week if that's what you are doing or not.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll confirm or deny that thing that I did.
Or will she?
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, we hope you have a very safe, happy Halloween this weekend.
Yes.
Because this is going to be, a couple more days for Halloween.
Yes, this will come on the Thursday before Halloween.
That's right.
Everybody get their tricks and treats ready.
Yes.
And send me a Bunny Man shirt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you want to follow us on social media, you can find us at The Grimdark Diaries on Instagram and Facebook, and Grimdark Diaries on Twitter. If you want to send me the receipt showing me that you purchased me a Bunny Man shirt, you can email thegrimdarkdiaries@gmail.com. You can find us on all your podcast platforms, and if you can subscribe or follow or like or rate or leave a comment on Apple telling me that you purchased me a Bunny Man shirt, that would be much appreciated. And tune in next week for another spooky story, even though it will be in November. But don't at me because I just like spooky things. And remember, a friend in the dark beats alone in the light.